On the globe, you join us just as today's practice session for the Australian Grand Prix is about to start. So Anthony, lots to do of course in these sessions, lots of programs to run. What are you looking for when you jump in the car for free practice?
Well, you have basic checks first of all. You know, is the car working correctly? What are the track conditions like? And you'll be chasing that as the session goes on, things like that. Then you start getting into the nitty-gritty of it all, and they become more like test sessions where it's all about gathering new data, testing components, tweaking the setup and so on. So there's only so much actual practice that these drivers need. Most of them will be plenty familiar enough with the track layout, either from previous experience or from the simulator.
Okay, this is Jeff, can you hear me? Radio check looks good, system check looks good. Just want to say it's a pleasure to have you on the team, and I hope we have a lot of success together. Tell me if you need anything, otherwise, get out there and show us what you've got. Just put in the quickest lap of the session so far.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
Well, tyre management is key here, specifically the rears. It's all too easy to overheat and wear the rear tyres as they're punished out of the low-speed corners. Most teams won't be able to avoid some kind of issue here, especially the teams that are running less downforce.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top three are Grosjean, Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. They say that even a second is an eternity in Formula One, so going 4 winter months with no racing at all has seemed a very long time indeed. We're back though in Melbourne, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver, a former F1 competitor, a man who was world champion once upon a time as well, and an all-round top chap. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, the first time racing these cars. So what are the big questions that need to be answered here, in your view?
First of all, Crofty, and thanks for the glowing introduction, I just want to say it's a real privilege to be here, and I can't wait to see what this competitive field has in store for us this season. Now, to answer your question, obviously there's the question of performance in race trim, but really this is going to be all about reliability. It's the first Grand Prix of the season, don't forget. You're pushing all your new components to their limits. Formula One cars are full of very sophisticated but also very sensitive technology. So the most important thing today is to get to the end of the race, keep everything in good condition and try to stay out of trouble while you're at it.
What a great way to start the season. Pole position. Now let's take the win.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. A fantastic qualifying from Romain Grosjean yesterday puts him on pole, with Nico Rosberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen and Ricciardo, Verstappen, Alonso, Button and Valtteri Bottas, Perez, Massa, Carlos Sainz and Hülkenberg, Kvyat, Gutierrez, Kevin Magnussen and Marcus Ericsson, Wehrlein and Nasser, Rio Haryanto and Jolyon Palmer rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Some information on Bottas. They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. zone. Seconds. This is your final lap of the race. Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserved that race win.
A great win then for the Haas team today. Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be Haas picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for coming out on top in that amazing Grand Prix. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Romain Grosjean takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
It's got to be Romain Grosjean. He was in another league for me today. Really impressive.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship.